All right, here's the blank ready to go, ready to start shaping. I pull that tape off of it. It's the first thing I do. And then I get out my router with a 3/4 inch bit and trim the deck where the wood is so it gets trimmed in. Then I tune it up with a Surform, a cheese grater there, as you can see me working, sighting down the rails, make sure they're nice and they have a nice flow to them. Then I get my planer out, and basically all I do is skin these blanks. This is amazing foam. This is not EPS, this is XPS foam. And basically I just skin the blank because it is so easy to shape with sandpaper. And the rest of the shaping is all done with 80 grit sandpaper and various blocks. Here you can see me tapering the end of the boards. I'm adjusting the planer so that I can increase my cut and decrease my cut so I can get a nice tapered cut. And I will whack all that with the sanding block later. I have a couple of nice big sanding blocks so I can keep everything uniform and flat, and then later I will shape some V in or some angle. And there you can see me planing away with my Skill 100 planer that's about 30 years old. I stopped making these a long time ago, but they're really great tools for shaping foam. And I don't know how my voice is coming out over the sound of the planer. Okay, there's one of my sanding blocks I use, and you can see how I'm shaping away on this thing. And then I have this long shaping sanding block, and that allows me to get a really nice rail flow without any dents in the flow. And then I use the Surform here just to take off some additional wood on the plywood, because I shape a very special rail on these boards. It's unlike every other board you see out there because these rails are designed to give you control over the kite. And there you see me marking out my concaves. They're sort of an asymmetrical concaves on the rails, but then I have a couple of long channels running down the center. I found that this allows the board to ride smoothly over the chop when you're just hammering over chop. And there you can see me drawing in the traction flutes. I just draw these in as a guide. I don't necessarily follow that template exactly there. I just sort of shape them in by eye where I think they're going to have the maximum effect. There you can see me holding it up where the traction flutes go. I invented those traction flutes, and they basically work in lieu of a fin, so you don't need a fin on this board. I do ride them with one little fin, but I don't really need that. And there you see me taping off the center line because it's important to keep my perspective on these boards that are pretty asymmetrically bi-directional asymmetrical boards. There you see how I have a piece of foam that I've already shaped to create just the right concave, and I'm doing these long channels. I'm shaping in these long channels on each side of the stringer line, even though there is no stringer in these blanks. All the strength comes from the rail layup and the sandwich construction, which is actually quite a lot stronger than a regular surfboard. You could always Google that, sandwich construction. I don't need to go into details about what that does. There you can see my different tools I use to shape in the concaves. This is where I'm working on the traction flutes, but it's all done by hand. It's really easy. I mean, if you know what you're doing. No CAD programs involved here. Now I'm using the screen. I have different grits of screen that I use to work on the rails. So I design my rails so that the boards can plane when you need them to plane, and they can create a great resistance against the pull of the kite when you need that. There you can see the traction flute in the board and the concaves on the rail. Now you can see I've painted these boards. I painted these boards yellow, and this is just basically latex paint. And I had some striping paint for road striping, and I mixed it with some white gripper paint. And here you can see I have some of these pens, and I do some pin striping there, use the same tape line that I taped off for the paint. Now they're basically ready to glass, and I'm going to keep the bare wood under the glass on these boards. Thanks for watching.